Now, huge crowds at the Penn relays, but man, they run the Penn relays just heat after heat after heat.
That's right.
And they just push you through and get you going. And somehow, though, you know, it draws out the best performances in people left and right.
It sure does. And look at this star treatment that we're going to get for the fastest section of the boys championship 4x8. I love the music. I love the lights. I love the fireworks, literal fireworks happening in here. It's going to be hot, hot, hot on this track as we go through the starters for our championship boys fastest section of the 4x800 meter relay. Again, leading things off is going to be the Red Devils. This is Hinsdale Central. They come in with the fastest time in the country at 7:45.
Yeah, my neighbors in Hinsdale Central, about 4 miles down the street from where I live in the suburbs of Chicago. And
love it.
The Red Devils have been a powerhouse. They ran sub 7:40 last year, 7:32 outdoors.
That's right.
That was number 2 in the U.S.
Absolutely. So following behind them is going to be EA 1785 Track Club. They come in with also a 7:45 personal best. They're out of Pennsylvania. Then we've got Phillips Exeter Academy. They come in with a 7:48.01 best for the year. After them, we've got North Track Club out of New Jersey, 7:50.87. Senko Ranch out of Katy, Texas, comes in with a 7:51.38 best. Then we've got South Farms Track Club. They're from Middletown, Connecticut. That's Xavier High School at 3:52.32. Position number 7 is going to be Blacksburg Track Club. That's Blacksburg High School out of Virginia. They've got a 7:52.39. We're starting to see how tight this race is going to be, at least on paper. About 4 teams with 7:52 and change PBs, including Oakton Elite from Oakton High School in Virginia. They come in with a 7:52.55 best. We've also got Brookline Track Club from right here in Massachusetts at 7:54.36. So this will be a real treat for them to race in-state at the track at New Balance here in Boston.
I gotta call it out. It's rare that you see another runner named Declan, and they got Declan Mulligan on their second leg. So I'm excited to see what a fellow Declan can do, especially in the 800.
Absolutely, I love that. Great name. And some great hair on that team, too. I saw at least one style and mullet, so that means that they're here to party. Fastest party on the planet. We've got Latin Track Club out of Boston Latin High School in Massachusetts as well, 7:54.60. Union Catholic, we've seen tons from them so far. They're out of Scotch Plains, New Jersey, 7:55 flat. 6 Mile Track Club from Northville is coming in with a 7:44.71. I believe that's a 7:54. That might be a bit of a typo there. And then we've got the Cougar Track Club out of Chatham, New Jersey at 7:54.36. So seed times ranging from 7:45 to 7:54. But again, seed times only mean so much when you're running here at this blazing facility, the track at New Balance in Boston.
Yeah, those seed times, you could have that full team fielding on the track. You could have improved that team. You might have lost someone to injury since you ran that time.
That's
so
right.
Lots of different teams on the track than what would have run those seed times, and some of them have not had their full team together probably since outdoor last year.
Absolutely. So again, on paper, the fastest team on this start line is going to be Hinsdale Central. Time to beat currently thrown down by Westfield Track Club at 7:50.06. On paper, there are only 3 teams in this section who have run faster than that. Again, magic is going to happen. So we are underway with our 4th and final section of the championship boys 4x800 meters here at New Balance Indoor Nationals.
And right off the bat on the inside, Aiden Bandakwala of Hinsdale Central was just having to push a little bit. That top seed being on that rail, you're in a hard position having to get out really fast. So fighting a little bit, stuck on the rail right at the start, but Brookline Track Club is going to get out, or that's Blacksburg Track Club that gets out towards the front. And now Hinsdale Central locked in behind them, North Track Club and Cinco Ranch. Blacksburg Track Club out of Virginia, Hinsdale Central from Illinois.
So that is Aiden Bandakwala for Hinsdale, currently in second. He comes in with a 156 flat PB from this year, run just a couple of weeks ago, and he is trying to hunt down our leader out of Blacksburg.
And some really smart running from Bandakwala right there, just able to hold off the charge from EA 1785 and North Track Club, and he's going to make the move towards the front now, going into the last lap of the first leg. Hinsdale Central, EA 1785, Blacksburg and Cinco Ranch. Cinco Ranch now going around Blacksburg with 100 to go. Bandakwala pouring it on. Strong running on this first leg.
So again, keep your eye on that clock. It's well under 2 minutes. So he's going to come through in about 155.
Faster than his personal best.
That's right. So a PB from a start position, and that is the way to do it. Kicking things off for Hinsdale Central. They are not here to mess around. I believe that is Grant Miller running the second leg. We'll get confirmation of that for you.
And Hinsdale Central, Michael Scora out there in front. Cinco Ranch in the maroon and white tops. EA in third. Episcopal, that's Eli Engelman. Hinsdale Central still out there, and they went out in 26 on that leg. That's the excitement. You get the baton, you start going out fast, and you're chasing that top runner, and that's Cinco Ranch and EA chasing Hinsdale Central, so they went right with them. Cinco Ranch had to go out in 25-2 to do it, though.
Incredible. So it is that three-man battle up front right now. They're going to come around with 1 lap to go in this leg. And again, as you mentioned, that is Michael Scora up front still for Hinsdale. He's got an outdoor personal best of 156.25. So trying to eclipse that as well, and now pouring it on for the Red Devils, putting some distance between himself and the two teams in hot pursuit.
He went out in 55 high, and doing well to hold onto it is Michael Scora, and he's starting to separate now. He's not picking anything up. He's just not slowing down quite as much as everyone else. Scora is out there and pressing the pace. Cinco Ranch trying to bring it back before the handoff. Hinsdale Central in the lead. That's a 157.2 from Michael Scora.
So Grant Miller now up front for the Red Devils. He's going to be running this third leg and trying to hold off the charge behind him from Cinco Ranch. Grant Miller, a real distance star. He's also run 158.66 outdoors last year. And it is those two. It is the Red Devils against the Cougars at the moment. They're being pursued by Phillips Exeter Academy, who's moved into third. Again, a reminder that the time to beat is 7:50.06.
And got to mention Hinsdale Central. They're in the lead here, 2 laps to go. They've got Daniel Watke on their anchor leg. Watke, an absolute superstar, 150 PB, and he ran at the USATF U20 Outdoor Championships and ran 151 for third last year.
That's right, absolutely. He is going to be going to the University of Oregon. Maybe you've heard of them. They've got some prestige in the world of track and field. So, again, anything can happen in the race, but keep your eye on Dan in that final leg. But right now, this is Grant Miller keeping things rolling for those Red Devils. and Cinco Ranch not letting them go.
Cinco Ranch doing a great job of just sticking in this one, trying to maintain contact for as long as possible. And we are coming up on this handoff. Hinsdale Central racing those pace lights right now and right alongside him. And it's going to go to Dan Watke, the Ducks commit.
And those pace lights set to the fastest time in the country this year, which, as we mentioned, is held by the team in the front right now, 7:45.73. That is what those lights are set to, and they are ahead of it, but those Cougars not letting them go.
And that's the race within the race. Watke obviously has to keep his eyes on those lights for that reason, knowing there's a time already in the bank that's pretty quick, but Cinco Ranch has their eyes up on Watke, and they're running to pull him back in. Phillips Exeter Academy now making their way up, moving into second.
So a 27.89 opening lap there for Watke. He's looking incredibly strong right now. He knows how to do this thing. He's got a lot of experience at the very top level. Controlling this race from the front. He's going to come through 400 meters. Got 2 laps to go. Holding this thing together for the Red Devils, and that was a 28.48, so a very fast opening quarter for him. Looking smooth, controlled, and composed as the battle is on behind him for second.
And just out there running a really smooth race, and it looks like he just turned another gear, trying to tighten the screws a little bit, is Dan Watke. He's got 1 lap to go. Hinsdale Central, they came in the top seed with a target on their back. They've been leading the whole way. The Red Devils of Hinsdale Central, here comes Cinco Ranch. They're going to try and challenge. Less than 100 meters to go. Dan Watke pouring it on now. Cinco Ranch trying to give chase. EA 1785 moving into third, but as the sparks fly, here comes Watke breaking the tape for the Red Devils of Hinsdale Central. 7:43. That's a new top time in the country for Hinsdale Central, bettering their seed time. That team of Aiden Bandukwala, Grant Miller, Michael Scora, and Dan Watke. And that final split, 153-36, and a tactically sound split from Watke. Stayed relaxed, stayed composed, and then just tightened things up and brought home the win.
Absolutely, but we should mention, fantastic performance there for Hinsdale and Watke, but 152.30 run by the anchor leg of our second team. 153.1, 153.7 also run by Phillips Exeter and 6 Mile Track Club. So talk about elevating the whole level of performance across the board for these guys. To be able to see some 152 and 153 splits at this track at New Balance in Boston speaks to not only, again, how incredible this facility is, but the level of competition. I'm blown away. That is amazing.
Yeah, not just 1 or 2. They were all over the place. There were teams that were moving up from 7th to 3rd, running 154. And that's what it's all about, is rising to the level of competition, like you said, but also just taking advantage of those opportunities. You don't get an opportunity to have these deep of fields very often.
Absolutely.
And they've taken great advantage of them, and it was a stellar run in all sections of the boys 4x8.
We'll move now on to